Welcome back to Souls Me. Yeah, we nailed it once again.
Finally, after messing up like every single time. Don't mind, this is not dirty water. It's just coconut water.
Yeah, which means dirty water to me.
Which means life.
Actually, it's really sad because I'm from Carúpano, which is like a beach town in Venezuela, and I don't like coconut water. The most organic coconut you can find in the world, like literally anywhere, and I never liked it.
I don't get it, but
I know.
Anyway.
Nobody can.
I don't.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Souls Meet. Do you want to explain to people what we do here?
What we do here? Quickly, because we know that you want to get to the stories quickly.
Yeah.
We read stories off of Reddit from the thread, Am I in the wrong? Or
Am I the asshole?
Yes.
But we change it up to make it a little nicer.
I know. Am I in the wrong? Yeah, sometimes you are. And after we read the stories here for the first time, because we only read the titles beforehand, we read the stories to you, and then we play
rock, paper, scissors,
piedra, papel o tijera
in Spanish.
And
then the winner goes first and gets to give her. Did you go like this?
Yeah. Because I'm missing a nail. That's why.
Nobody's gonna notice.
Why are you telling
Number
the world
3
my insecurities?
Anyway, the winner goes first, and she gets to give her take, her perspective, and the loser has to go second and give a different take, a different perspective, if possible.
We try. Sometimes it's impossible.
Most of the time we succeed.
Yeah. I think we're good. This is the reason why we made this podcast, because we do believe that there's always two sides of the stories.
Or multiple. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Sometimes
there's only one side.
But we try. Mm-hmm. So we're going to get to it right away, because we know you like the chisme.
As always, I go first.
She loves going first. It's fine. I let her.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Let's do this one.
What?
I don't know. I'm trying to do eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Which one do I want to read?
Oh.
I'm going to read this one. Am I in the wrong for telling my husband to go stay in a hotel with my in-laws, and that my mom was going to come back to help me with our new baby? Damn, what happened?
Okay, I'm really looking forward to this one. Okay,
it's long. It's long. Okay, so I, 28 female, just had my husband, 31 male, and I's first child 7 weeks ago. I had a scheduled induction, so my mom came 2 days before I was induced and stayed with us for the first 6 weeks. She just left last week. She was originally going to stay for 2 weeks after I gave birth, but she stayed longer because my recovery has been very difficult and I just needed the extra help. My in-laws wanted to come visit as soon as the baby was born as well, but they did not want to stay in a hotel, and we have a small house with no guest room. And my mother was sleeping on a pull-out bed in our living room, so there was just no space for anyone else, and they decided not to come visit until my mother left. They arrived 3 days ago, and it had not gone well. Last night, my mother-in-law got very upset with me and told me I was ruining her experience as a first-time grandma and hogging both the baby and her son after she had to wait weeks and weeks to meet the baby. The background here is that the baby is cluster feeding for the last few days, and I do not feel comfortable breastfeeding in front of my in-laws. So I keep taking the baby to our bedroom or the nursery to feed him, and breastfeeding makes me hungry and thirsty. So I keep asking my husband to bring me snacks and water. I try to bring the baby out to interact with my in-laws when he stops feeding for a few minutes, but it's very aggravating to keep covering up and going downstairs just for the baby to cry a few minutes later and want to be fed again. And my mother-in-law keeps rolling her eyes and getting annoyed each time I said he has to feed again, and I had to go back upstairs, and she kept being like, he can't be hungry, he just ate. And she thinks I just don't want to let her hold him or play with him. And when I ask my husband to bring me snacks and stuff, she keeps huffing and saying things like, okay, father-in-law and I will just sit here by ourselves. She had not offered me any help the way that my mother did. My mom would cook for us every day, and she would take over the baby care for the night when she was staying here. And she would just bring him to me to nurse and then would burp and change him and get him back to sleep for me around 2 nights a week, and it was a lifesaver. My mother in law just keeps telling me to give her the baby when I can't. Sorry. My mother in law just keeps telling me to give her the baby when I can't because he needs to eat and not really doing anything to help and getting mad that I need my husband's help. I told my husband I felt this way after his mom yelled at me last night and told me his mom isn't here to help me the way my mom was because she's not my mom. She's there to meet her grandson, and he wanted to spend the next few days introducing his child to his parents, not just making me snacks and then sitting around watching TV with his parents, waiting for me to finish breastfeeding so they can see the baby. Wow.
What?
He told me he's been looking forward to his parents meeting the baby since the birth, and it's been disappointing it's going this way. I told him I feel like I don't know how to please anyone because I can't just not feed my son. I don't want to be miserable and hungry and thirsty when I'm breastfeeding, and I really don't think making me a snack plate and filling up my water bottle takes long. And it's taking away much time that my in laws could be spending with my husband. And he's the only person I can ask to do it because my mom left. So now he needs to help me. I exploded at him and told him they can just all leave and get a hotel room and my mom can come back and help me because at least she does things to help me and doesn't shame me for trying to breastfeed. He told me he couldn't believe I would say that and that I knew his parents didn't like hotels, but they would just go stay in one of them. And then they all went and got rooms at the Holiday Inn in our town, and I spent the night alone with the baby for the first time and got no sleep. I called my mom crying, and she's on her way back to help me now. But I feel like I might have made a huge mistake by telling them all to leave. But I felt like I was going to scream and just wanted my mom to come back. He has not texted or called me to check on me and the baby since they left last night. Am I in the wrong for telling them to go to a hotel? Oh my god.
I'm stunned.
Wow.
Okay. Piedra, papel
No
o
tijera.
tijera.
Un,
Un,
dos,
dos, tres.
tres.
I'm going first. I don't know what to say because I feel like I was preparing myself to do like the other take, like if I needed to, like, because there are. Okay, I want to say you're not in the wrong. I want to say you're not in the wrong. That is initially the feelings that I have. It's just that I think everybody is kind of in the wrong. That's why I'm like, I feel like there is a lot. Like it's she's not in the wrong, but she's also. I feel entitlement in her and her writing as well. So there are parts of it that I would be like, is this really happening the way that you're saying it's happening, or is it just you're
Right.
also being like, I would prefer my mom here. But again, that's another take, and I don't want to take that from you. I'm just gonna say plain and simple, you're not in the wrong for needing specific things right now when your son is only what, like a few weeks old.
Like I think she said 7 weeks or something.
7 weeks, like it's you're still a very very recent new mom. This is a very recent like experience for the first time that you're living. I'm not a mom. We're not moms. We do have friends that are mothers, and all everything that I hear from every single person that I talk to is it's a really challenging time. You don't know what you're going to be feeling. There's a lot of hormones. You would think that the other women in your life will be completely understanding. I do have a friend who had a not a similar she kind of had to tell her mother-in-law to leave as well. Like she did. She had to say, "I'm sorry, but can you please leave the house?" And I actually have two where that happened. One was had to be more specific, and the other one, the mother-in-law just kind of left. She kind of like saw it.
Oh wow.
But I think it's a common thing to happen because I think women moms in that moment really need to feel okay, and they need to feel nurtured. There's a lot of hormonal situations happening. There's also like you're kind of learning. She had her mom. So I think overall, she's not in the wrong for saying, if what I'm trying to do here with my son, and me trying to figure out when he wants to eat, what he wants to do, this is a learning process for me. This is what I need to do. This is what I need to, the way that I need to, and I need that support from my husband, as in, like, bring me please the water, the snacks, because this is happening as we go along, and I need you to be fully present here. I know this is an experience with your parents. I know everything that you could be feeling, fine, but this is about the baby, and I am the mother right now, and I'm dealing with this, and I'm trying to find the good rhythm here, even when your in-laws being here. Like, in-laws staying at home with you can be complicated without babies. Imagine with a brand new baby. They're like, it's their first baby for both of them.
Yeah.
Of course, it's gonna be hyper complicated, like fully complicated. And from her side of the story, it doesn't feel like the grandmother is even being like mindful of her feelings, of what happening, and she's making comments that are not nice. So overall, I'm gonna say she's not in the wrong for telling them, well, if you don't like this, go somewhere else. I have thoughts about other parts of
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
but like overall, like, this is about me and my baby.
Yeah. Well, I agree that she's not in the wrong. And I think she's the mother. She's the one that just gave birth. She's the one that has to feed the baby. She's the one that has to do essentially a lot more than anyone else. So I think she needs to be comfortable. And it's very annoying to hear someone constantly making little remarks. Very annoying. You're already going through a lot, hormonal, all the changes, and now your daily habit, like, it's just all different now. And to have someone making little comments like, oh, we're just gonna sit here then do nothing, that's very annoying. So I don't think she's in the wrong. However, I don't think she handled it correctly. I think she could have um been a little bit more respectful of the in-laws. I think she could have been a little bit more respectful towards her husband as well, who I
Well, leave.
he left, and I can't believe he actually left.
I know. I'm like, and he did
He
it.
actually left and has not texted her. Like,
Oh, I know.
you don't do that. Period. But at the same time, he obviously did try communicating, this is not ideal for me. I was looking forward to my parents meeting my child, and I would really love for them to spend more time with the baby. I think I agree with, oh, she sounds a little bit entitled, like, oh, I don't want to get dressed to go back downstairs when in a few minutes the baby's gonna have to come up. My mom helped me. She put him to sleep. She would burp him. Like, your in-laws don't have to do that. They're there to meet the baby, to spend time with the baby, and that's it. And I think she could have maybe tried a little bit harder to meet her husband halfway. To it is his son as well.
Yeah.
I get it. You're doing most of the work, and I get it. But I think you could have, for the few days that the in-laws were there, I think you could have just met him halfway.
Yeah.
To make sure that he also gets to spend time with his son and his parents. It's also very exciting for him. So overall, I don't think she's in the wrong for being like, get out. But I think that leading up to that, she could have handled better.
100%.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, yeah, like, you're not wrong, but also the way that she also wrote it, it really
Yeah.
sounds like it's like her way or the highway. And again, we get it. Your mothers, you need your time, you need your um needs met in a way. But I don't know what it is about how she wrote it, that it also feels like those type of people, like, I don't care, and I'm not gonna hear anything
Yeah.
about it. I don't, it's gonna be my way, and I'm sorry if they don't like it. And
Yeah.
it's, you can't also have a good relationship and a good dynamic like that,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah, there was something about it that we're just like,
There was
yeah,
something in
but
there. I'm like,
mommy,
okay, I get it, but no.
but no, like,
You also could have
just
done
work it
a
out,
little
you know?
better.
Oh my gosh. Am I in the wrong for ruining a wedding? Okay. My wife and I own a catering company. Our oldest son is 15 and helps a lot with events. He's autistic, but he is very capable when he's accommodated. We were contracted to cater a rehearsal dinner and a wedding. The rehearsal dinner was obviously much smaller than the wedding. With me, my wife, and our oldest, we could pull the whole thing off without using any employees and save a chunk of change.
Mm.
The wedding planner also hired a bartender to make drinks, as we don't offer that service. Our son was setting up the tables and chairs while my wife and I were unloading the food. The bartender asked my son to help him unload some boxes of wine, and my son said no. The bartender offered to tip him, and my son said that he can't touch alcohol. The bartender told him he was being difficult and that my son started ignoring him because that's how he responds to stress. The bartender tried to talk to him, and when my son continued to ignore him, he grabbed my son by the shoulder and shook him.
Oh.
Ugh.
Oh.
My son ran to me and told me what happened. I called the police. The bartender started arguing with me. I kept telling him to wait for the police to arrive. My son went to my wife. When the bartender found out that my son was 15, he got nervous and left
Mm.
before the police arrived. Oh. After the deputy showed up, and while I was talking to him, the wedding planner showed up to ask what was going on.
Oh
I
my
asked
god.
her to wait while I finished talking to the deputy. My wife and son had gone back to setting up after the bartender left. The wedding planner demanded I talk to her and tell her why the police were present. The deputy told her she had to wait. She stood by and listened to our conversation. I told the deputy what happened. He said since he didn't witness anything, he couldn't do anything, but to call him if the bartender returned. When the deputy left, the wedding planner called the bartender to ask him to come back. He said he wouldn't come back because he was worried I'd call the cops again. Ultimately, the rehearsal dinner had great food but no alcohol. The wedding planner asked us to serve at least the wine and beer that the bartender had brought, but we refused because A, we don't offer that service, and B, we aren't licensed to do that. And that stuff didn't belong to us. After the dinner, the wedding planner went off on us. She said we ruined the event and that we were fired. I clarified with her that she didn't want us to show up to the wedding venue and cater the wedding, which was the next day. She said that she didn't. I said, "Okay," and we left. My son actually filmed our conversation and I watched it when we got home, and she was very clear. At 4 a.m., she called us to talk about the wedding. I reminded her that she fired us. She said we were already paid, so that we had to show up anyway. I said she fired us. She said if we didn't show up, she would sue. I told her to sue. I also told her that I had her on video firing us. We did not cater the wedding. I heard from the DJ that they ended up ordering pizza. The bride was apparently
Oh my god.
screamed. She screamed at the wedding planner for half an hour about it. I actually feel a little bad because the bride didn't do anything. Maybe I was being petty and should have showed up anyway. We did not return any money as per our contract, and we ate or donated the food that we had already been prepared. That had already been prepared. I know legally I did nothing wrong, but I feel a little bit of a dick.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Piedra, papel o tijera. Un,
Dos,
dos,
tres.
tres. Ah! Oh my gosh, what's going on? Oh my gosh, great. Yes. Why am I saying not what's going on? As if it's something bad.
I don't.
It's a hard one though. Am I not, I'm not the only one, right? This is hard.
Well, I have my, like, I know how I feel about it.
You know how you feel
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
The thing is, to me, he's not in the wrong for calling the police. For me. And the woman fired him. But no, I don't know. I would have I feel like I would have thought about the bride. And I would have been like, this is somebody else's important day. So he said ruining the wedding. So it's like, what I'm going to focus on the wedding part, not in the calling the police type of thing. Ah, fuck. Beep. Okay, I'm gonna say you're in the wrong for not going. Because this is somebody's, it was their wedding, and I know this was the wedding planner, and I know the wedding planner should not have fired you. And she said all these things. But at the same time, and I don't like the fact that she fired him for not serving the alcohol. You're not licensed. You shouldn't touch that. We know that because
We do.
we did the, how do you call it, like the smart serve in Canada
Yeah.
to serve alcohol. We did the exam.
We did, and we
Ugh,
passed.
we passed.
It was easy.
Yeah. I actually, well, I have to say, I passed it after coming back from a party at 2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah. So there you go.
There you go. So you're not supposed to touch that. And that's why she fired you. But like, I don't know. I think I would have still, if that was my company, I think I would have showed up the next day and be like, okay, I'll be here. I'll provide the service, even though she fired you. I know we know that they fire you. It sounds like a small town type of situation. Like you also were gonna do it with you, your wife, and your son. Um, I would have tried to find a way to still show up for this, for the couple, not even for the wedding planner. And I would have found a way to make that clear to the couple. But I don't know, like the food was already paid for. The This is a situation that happened with the bartender, not with them. If this had been the couple, if this had been the wedding planner herself, like touching your son, if you felt that going back there would have been like not okay for your son, and like not safe and unsafe for your son, and I know you must be so mad. And again, I don't blame you for being like, I'm gonna call the police because this man just touched my son who's 15. Also, because this man should not be doing this to anybody. No, doesn't matter if like they are an adult. You don't touch anybody who's telling you that they're not gonna help you with something that they cannot do. So I think good for you for calling the cops, because he doesn't deserve that. Sorry, he does deserve that. He does deserve to have the cops called on them. But for the second part of the situation, the planner saying, please come back tomorrow. This is a wedding, blah, blah, blah. I think you should have done the service. It's hard. Ah, I get you. I get you for not wanting to do it, but I would have done it. I think. I think.
Yeah. I am. Yeah, I think she's in the wrong. I think she's in the wrong, but
Who?
the woman, this caterer,
Oh, I think
the mother.
I think it's the father who wrote it.
Oh,
No?
the father?
Yeah, I
thought
think.
it was the mother.
Okay.
Okay, whatever. The parent. I think the parent is in the wrong. Um, I'll just quickly give another take, I guess.
Sorry.
What?
Can you imagine ordering pizza for your wedding?
No.
I mean, everybody ate it.
No, I can't.
At the end of the day, and other things are important, but imagine that
That's
couple.
not okay. That's not
Imagine that
okay. That's
couple.
not okay. Listen, I understand the disrespect. I understand the caterer. Sorry, not the caterer, the wedding planner reacting the way she did, and not thinking things through, and just kind of like firing people, and you being like, well, yeah, you fired me, then I'm not coming. I get all of it, but honestly, I think I also feel like there's a lot of entitlement in this story.
In the story, yeah.
And I wouldn't have called the police on that guy either. If this is a father, I don't again, I didn't understand if it was the mother or the father.
Mhm.
But I think they could have had a conversation with the bartender. And they could have been like, "Listen, first of all, he's 15. Second of all, why are you touching my son that way?" And I would go then talk to the caterer and say, "I don't want this guy working this event
The
with
planner.
us." So I
Yeah.
keep saying the caterer.
Yeah, yeah.
That yeah, I would tell the planner not in advance, because I know this all happened at the moment, but at
Mhm.
least warn her that I'm not working this event. He just physically assaulted my son. I
Mhm.
don't feel comfortable. Please ask someone else to come. I'm sure the company has other bartenders to resolve the issue within the people, instead of going out of your way and calling the police and ruining someone else's rehearsal dinner. Like, I think that's too much. I think you went a little bit too far there. You're thinking of yourself only. And then I also feel like it was very wrong. You were already paid. And again, I get it. You were fired, but it all comes down to that's just your ego. That's just being petty. You were paid for a service.
Yeah.
They're calling you at 4 in the morning, meaning obviously they couldn't find anyone else last minute to cater a wedding. You were paid for the service. You already had the food done. It's not like you didn't prepare because you got fired. You had the food ready and you ate it instead, and you gave it, like, I think that's too much. Too selfish.
Too petty.
Yeah. It's too it really you're not thinking of the person who's getting, like, what does the woman getting married have to do with all of this? Show up for your service.
You're so right, because it's like at the end of the day, the ones affected even no didn't even know anything about it. This wasn't
Exactly.
even a direct problem with the
With the
planner.
people getting, yeah.
Aside from the fact that she asked you to do handle the alcohol, and you're not allowed to
Right.
handle the
That's
alcohol,
fair.
and we know this is why she fired you and whatever, like that's on her. But it's a complicated situation already, that going back to the entitlement a little, you do know that there are things that need to be accommodated because of your son with autism. I'm not saying that the man that this happened because he's autistic. I think the man would have touched anybody. He was just like,
Yeah, I don't
listen
think
to
he
me.
knew. I don't think the guy knew.
He probably didn't know, or if he did, and he's just one of those people, because there's a lot of stupid people out there,
Oh yeah.
that if they see somebody just like responding differently or whatever, and they see that they can take advantage of that person, they will try. But I'm saying is like, it's there you do know that there is already, that you need extra communication with this, right? And we're obviously touching the subject of like inclusion and all of that, but within this inclusion, there needs to be a lot of also accountability and like talking and communication, and making sure that the spaces are uh not good, that's not the word that I want to use,
Like
but like,
safe
yeah, safe
for him.
enough, yeah, like the best way possible, right? And but we also know that these things can happen, because there could be a very, I don't know specifics about the spectrum, but like the where in the spectrum he is, but you do know that there could be like stuff with the communication, like there could be barriers there, right? So there needs to be, like you said, even more communication before
Yeah.
we all explode. And
Before you take it that far. Yeah.
I mean, I think I understand him calling the police if I see my son, or I don't know how he was, how he felt, how he came to his mother and said, "Hey, like this just happened, and he shook me, and he touched me." And when you have a person, like when you have a son, you do know that those things can happen even more. And like, I think you're more um sensitive to anything that could be happening, I do I am okay with like say, but I would have said to the planner, I'm like, I'm gonna call the police
Yeah,
on
I
this
would have
guy,
said something. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
just like for this planner to come out. I worked with a planner for a time, like in weddings, and these are very stressful like moments.
Of
So
course. Yeah.
imagine coming out and just seeing the police there.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
gosh.
Yeah. Those are our stories for today.
I'm just thinking of the pizza.
No, I can't even think of that.
Oh my god.
Poor bride. Poor bride and
Because
groom.
they paid for it, right? The bride and the groom. I think it would have been like, I'm gonna cook the food and like leave it there, and then you can find
Right.
somebody
Yeah.
to do it or to like serve it at least, because they already
Yeah.
paid for the food. Like there
Yeah.
is so much, like if you want to make it work, you make it work
Yeah.
for other people who are not. It's not their fault.
Yeah. Well, there's people. Anyway, thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.